Word with y'all this morning. Thank y'all for coming out, and we are live, so I want to thank those that might be watching online. What holiday's coming up that we're going to be eating some turkeys and hams and some pecan pies and all pumpkin pies, my favorite at Thanksgiving, and all those wonderful things. Yes, Thanksgiving. Last week we talked about what the world kind of looks at as Thanksgiving, and it said it's kind of to be grateful or thankful is kind of an emotion. And it can be an emotion that you get, at your birthday or at Christmas. Gratefulness and gratitude is an attitude. It is not merely a fleeting emotion. It is a mental state. It is a choice that we make. Whether things for me, you're going to have Brother Sanford bringing the word next week, and so please do come out and support Brother Sanford. I'll be kind of a missionary, if you will, in San Diego, a place where there certainly aren't as many conservative gospel-believing churches as there are here. So just pray that God would use me. Gospel-believing churches as there are here. So just pray that God would use me. Maybe even on the plane. The last time I went on a flight like that, I shared the gospel for 2 hours with the person next to me and realized that we're next door neighbors, almost literally in Lillington. She only lived 5 minutes away, and now she's a really good friend. And Tamara and her went and had dinner one day, and so you never know how God will use you. So whether you're on an airplane, whether you're at the doctor's office or in an elevator, God can use you, and you're to be His ambassador. So don't ever forget that. But I want to talk to you in the spirit of Thanksgiving. I want to talk to you a little bit about how to be thankful in a thankless world. Okay, and so thankless world. We think about some jobs that are dirty jobs. You remember that show, Dirty Jobs, that used to come on the Shanks? Yeah, Miss Pam. What do you think of a thankless job? Trash collecting. Give you an example. I was out. I mow the median of our neighborhood, and I pick up trash. It never fails that our house is about probably 5 minutes from McDonald's and Hardee's and their different restaurants, and it never fails that I guess people have a 6-minute window that they have to get the trash out of their car, and it winds up right on mine and my neighbor's property because where our house butts up to 401. Or 421, 401, and as I was picking up that trash, I'd never had, and I was not just picking up trash on our property, but I was picking up my neighbors because their heels got trash on it too, and my other neighbor. And I've never had any of the neighbors thank me for doing that. None of them. But who did thank me? A stranger off the side of the road. They pulled their truck over at this job. A plumber being a thankless job, absolutely. You're never thankful for a plumber until what? You need it. And same thing for our workers that get up on electric poles risking their lives, right? Well, you know what? I'm thankful for you, Miss Mandy, but it's so often people don't think about it. It's a thankless job, but it's an important job. And if she weren't doing that, people watching online would not be watching online right now. And so we thank God for her and others like her. Yes, Mr. Sanford. Absolutely. 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 Yeah. So caregivers. How about nursery workers in the church? Hey, I thank God for my nursery workers. Those little babies are no less important than us, and they're the future generation. And by the way, if we don't, care about little children and stuff as Christians, this church and others like it will close their doors because at some point we're all going to die. Do you get that? Unless Jesus comes first, or comes before we die, and He returns, and He is returning. But if we die before that happens, guess what? The light to the world, which is His church and His gospel. Hey, if we don't have kids, so I thank God for our caregivers. That's a thankless job, but it is so very important, so necessary a job. And one of the things, and this is a good segue for this, but one of the things that I'm praying to be able to rent my house so I have more time to help, and I want to support. Brother Sanford has a ministry where he goes on Saturdays and helps at his sister's care facility, and he brings a church service basically to those people, and in many cases those workers that are at those facilities, they work so much they can't, and they're Christian, they can't even come to church because they're working on Sundays. And so I would love to bring communion to those people, those Christians there, to be able to help them celebrate Christ the way we do, because they're busy serving, in many cases, our loved ones and our family members, and don't have the opportunity that we have to come to church on a Sunday morning. So it's an important thing. But there's so many jobs that are necessary and important jobs that are often thankless jobs. And when we do those thankless jobs, I promise you Miss Mandy isn't doing that job up there to make a big thing on her resume. You know what I mean? She does it because she loves Jesus. When people are doing those pipes and things, they're not expecting the principal of the school to come and treat them to a steak dinner. No, they do it because it's a job that needs to be done. Those CP&L and Duke Energy workers climbing those poles and risking their lives, they're not doing that so that they get the key to the city by the mayor. They're doing it so people will have lights. You get what I'm saying? It's a thankless job, but it's a necessary job. So I want us to think about something. When Jesus went to the cross, no one thanked him for that. They yelled, "Crucify him, crucify him." But yet Jesus went to the cross, a very thankless thing, but the most beautiful expression of God's love that the world would ever see. With that said, I'm going to invite Brother Matt to come and lead us to praise and worship. And let's lift up Jesus. And let's give thanks this morning and this week for thankless jobs. Thankless jobs that mean everything when they're done with love and honor and respect.
Good morning, AC³ Community Church.